Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Friday, November 14, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, 2 cops are killed on Waltham Park Road. 2 cops were shot and killed on Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew Thursday evening. The circumstances surrounding the shooting are not clear at this time. However, they were pronounced dead at the Kingston Public Hospital. The area was cordoned off. Tragedy in Spanish Town. Teacher and a teen daughter found dead in apartment. The sadness and the gloom that settled over the Keystone community in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Thursday was palpable as residents emerged after hours of heavy rain, only to be confronted with heartbreaking news. 29-year-old teacher Tara Pinnock and her 14-year-old daughter Talia Wright had been found dead inside their apartment. Pinnock, who taught at the Bridgeport Primary School for the past 2 years, had moved into the quiet community with her daughter about the same time. Talia was a student at McGrath High School. They were both discovered with multiple stab wounds and their throats slashed. The school teacher's father, Delroy Pinnock, who lives in Kelly's Clarendon, recalled the moment. "I got a call from the principal at the school where my daughter teach to say she did not turn up for school for 2 days. I called her phone and no answer. I called my granddaughter's, no answer. Called Brandon's phone, no answer," he told the news. Concerned, he asked his wife to go to the apartment to investigate what happened to them. That's when she called to say that the police found them inside the house, lying in pools of blood. Struggling to contain his grief, Pinnock added, "I am in a bad place right now. I don't know what to say because she did not say she was having problems with anyone." A neighbor who requested anonymity said the quarrels were not uncommon at the apartment. There were always heated arguments coming from the apartment, the neighbor told the news. The police are urging taxi operator Brandon Main, who plies the Nagahead to Spanish Town route, to report to the nearest police station or the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch, as they believe he can assist with the investigation. Pinnock said Main, who has been asked to report to the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch, had been introduced to the family as Tara's boyfriend. "He came to our house in the country more than once. He never displayed any aggressive behavior, and she did not say he was abusing her. So I don't know if them have any friction," he said. Police investigators reported that the house was properly secured when they arrived, suggesting that the killer had access to the home and locked the grill before leaving. Pinnock's body was discovered half nude in her bedroom. Detectives believe the murders may have occurred before Thursday. They are theorizing that a domestic dispute may have been at the center of the gruesome killings. Counsel for the Lauriston Division, Keisha Lewis, visited the scene. She said she had no knowledge of any reports of abuse involving the victims. Although she did not personally know the mother and the daughter, Lewis said she was deeply shaken. "This has always been a peaceful community where each neighbor looks out for each other," she said. "If any act of abuse was known, there would have been some form of intervention." The murders have sent shockwaves through the normally quiet community as relatives, friends, and neighbors await answers in what police describe as one of the most disturbing cases in recent months. As of November 8, there were 45 murders in the St. Catherine North Police Division this year, compared to 83 for the corresponding period in 2024. Nationally, there have been 571 murders, a 41.7% decline from the 979 between January 1 and November 8, 2024. Sales clerk caught with expired food handler's permits. A sales clerk was arrested and charged with selling baked goods with an expired food handler's permit during an operation in Four Parts, Clarendon on Wednesday. Charged is 27-year-old Deandra Dyer of Howells Content, Yorktown in the parish. According to reports, Dyer was observed selling baked goods in a shop. The lawman went and inquired about the certification for the facility and the permit to sell food in accordance with the Public Health Act. The documents were produced and the Dyer's food handler's permit was found to be expired. She was informed of the offense and subsequently charged. She is to appear in the Maypen Court on Thursday, January 15, 2026. JDF to establish operational hubs in Trelawney, Westmoreland, and Hanover to streamline relief efforts. The Jamaica Defense Force will be establishing operational hubs in Trelawney, Westmoreland, and Hanover over the next 48 hours to streamline Hurricane Melissa relief efforts in those parishes. This is in addition to the 2 national Hurricane Melissa relief warehouses and the parish operational hubs already existing in St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Kingston, and St. James. The disclosure was made by Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Commander Alvin Gale, during a special press briefing on Hurricane Melissa recovery held at Jamaica House on Thursday. He stated that the JDF is also maintaining 22 disaster relief outposts and has completed 207 flights to sustain air and ground logistics during its continued relief operations. Through combined efforts of the ODPEM and our partner agencies, more than 90,000 care packages have been issued and over 570,000 hot meals distributed to affected communities, Gale shared. The ODPEM head added that relief supplies was to be delivered to 22 communities across St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and Trelawney on Thursday. Meanwhile, he noted that the national recovery effort continues to be strengthened by the extraordinary generosity of individuals, organizations, and partners both here and abroad. To date, over some 15,000 donors have contributed a total amount of over $540 million to the government's official disaster relief platform. These donations reflect the deep compassion and unity of the Jamaican people, the private sector, the diaspora, and the international donor community, Gale outlined. He pointed out that churches and the faith-based groups continue to play an invaluable role in the recovery efforts as they have undertaken large-scale distribution of food, clothing, and care packages across the multiple parishes, ensuring help reaches those in the most vulnerable communities. Missing or dead, St. Elizabeth family hunts for man swept away by Melissa's floodwaters. Shamar Summons disappeared into the raging floodwaters while trying to retrieve belongings swept away from his home in Parati, St. Elizabeth, the day after Hurricane Melissa slammed Jamaica. His family is convinced he was carried away by the surge, yet after days of searching along the coastline, no trace of him has been found. That morning he was walking on the street, but we don't call it a street no more. We call it water, said his cousin Evan Daly, who has tirelessly combed the coastline, mangrove swamps, and broken drains since the disaster in a desperate search for Summons, a fisherman. As of Thursday, the official death toll from Melissa stood at 45, with 9 deaths under investigation and 15 persons reported missing. Where Summons fits into that count remains unclear. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management referred the news to the police, who had not provided any information at the press time. Parati, the small fishing village where Summons lived, was among the first communities hit. Roads were washed away, trees uprooted, and homes battered by hurricane-force winds and the surging floodwaters. Residents were left stranded without electricity or running water, struggling to make sense of the destruction around them. Daly described the deadly hazards that the storm left behind. The drain break out, and when the drain break out, you have a thing them call quicksand. If you step in it, it will pull you right down. Summons, carrying a knapsack, is believed to have stepped into one of those unstable silt pockets. After him getting it, him start cry for help, Daly said. A neighbor threw a rope twice, but the current proved merciless. The way how the wave and current are gone, the drain moves so fast, him never catch it. The current haul him way, Daly added. Summons' disappearance has cast a heavy, painful shadow over the storm-battered community. "We've been a look for him and all now we can't find him," Daly said, his voice thick with sorrow. "We walk the drain every day, we walk the shoreline." Hours before he vanished, Daly spoke with Summons about their near-death experience during the hurricane. "In the morning, me and the man a talk, and the same time me and the man a talk, at same time him go down go get him dead," Daly said. Him himself never know. When Melissa made the landfall, Parity was among the first communities to be struck. Residents fled from house to house as water levels rose at a terrifying speed. "Oh my God, are we first Melissa Likino?" Daly said, his voice cracking. "If a night that storm come, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I would be gone. During the day, the whole place get dark like a night. And the two of we and everybody else are run from house to house when the water start rise." Trapped between the rising sea in front and the swamp behind, residents found no safe refuge. "We're looking for refuge and there is no refuge," Daly said, his voice heavy with fear, grief and determination. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.